Hello, I'm James, Truck Consulting and Investing. Today we're going to be going over exactly what it takes to get your license and become a truck driver. Now there are a few different steps, and step one is to determine, do you want to be a local driver, a regional driver, or over the road? Sounds pretty simple. Now you need is a definition of what those are. Well, a local driver is someone that you see delivering the produce and the beer and the sodas around town. They're usually driving a articulated trailer. That's the day cab with the trailer. Sometimes it's a regular U-Haul looking truck, or we call it a box van. Now, a local driver is going to earn a little bit more than most people do, and they're going to be home nightly. Now, a regional driver is going to be the next step up, and they're going to be gone from home more often, but they're going to earn more than the local driver. Now, the over-the-road driver is going to earn a lot more. They're going to have a lot more financial opportunities, but they're going to be gone from home a lot. Now, everything's a trade-off, so you need to determine what's going to work best for you. That's one of the reasons we're here, is to help you make good, sound choices off of logic and reason. Now, one of the licenses you can get is a Class B license. You can get a Class A or Class B. The Class B license is what's required for trash trucks and dump trucks, and some of the flatbeds you see hauling around lumber and propane and other building equipment. It's also there if you want to drive a school or a passenger bus. Now, these vehicles do not require trailers. That's why it's a Class B commercial driver's license. A Class A license is required for commercial trucks with trailers. It's the traditional 18-wheeler everyone's familiar with. Now, sometimes those licenses are going to require mandatory endorsements. For instance, a regular commercial truck that everybody's used to with the truck and trailer, you have to get an air endorsement because instead of fluids, they operate off of air to activate and deactivate the brakes. If you're going to be driving a bus, you're probably going to need a passenger endorsement. There are also tanker endorsements, multiples. The multiple is going to be where you see the trucks with all the other trucks attached, or maybe you're hauling two of them. Now, the hazmat's a little bit different. Aside from having to take the written test, which is a little bit more difficult than the others, you're also going to have to get fingerprinting and background. That's just something for added safety after 9/11. Step 3, where do I get my license? Well, you can do it yourself. You can do the old DIY. Go down, get your CDL handbook from the DMV. They're probably going to be out in my experiences, so you can look it up online for your state. You can take the written test down at the DMV and you get your Class A or Class B permit. Now, regardless of which route you take, before you ever get in the truck, trucking schools and colleges and companies are going to require you to get that permit. It's not real difficult, but you're going to need that permit. So now you've got your permit. What do you do? Well, you can borrow a friend's truck. You can use a company truck and trailer. You can rent a vehicle. You can rent a trailer. You can go to a third-party school, and that party is going to rent you vehicles and test you, which is something that's really great and useful. But most people don't take that route. Most people go with local trucking schools, community colleges, and trucking companies. Now, how do you pay for it? Well, you can pay for it out of pocket. You can write a check, you can swipe some plastic, pay for it all yourself, regardless of which route you take. You can also get student loans and use your VA benefits if the schools are accredited. Check with the schools. They're going to know what your options are, and they're going to be very happy to help you get your federal loans and set up your VA benefits. But what most people do is they trade employment at a trucking company in exchange for the cost of the school. How long? Well, it's normally 6 months to a year, depending on the trucking company. Now, if you quit before that 6 months to a year, you are going to be charged the full amount of getting your license. It could be prorated, and it's all going to be based off of what you agreed to before you even started. It's going to be in black and white. There will be no fine print. You will know exactly how much you pay and the day that you need to stay on and not be charged anything. Now, you might be thinking, okay, I'm going to stay with the trucking company for a year. What am I going to get out of it? Well, the trucking industry wants to see 1 year worth of driving experience for over-the-road or regional drivers. The 1 year experience is going to open a lot of doors for you and keep you from extended periods out with a trainer. If you quit after that 6 months and you go to a new company, they're probably going to want you to go out with a new trainer, at least for 30 days. When I was training, I had several drivers who had been at companies for less than a year, and they had to go out with me for 30 days. So you've taken a look at what it is to get your license, and you're thinking, great, the trucking company is going to put me with a trainer, they're going to help me get my license. What do I need truck consulting and investing for? What does TCI.com bring to the table? Well, the schools that you go to are going to teach you how to drive a truck legally and safely. The company trainer is going to reinforce that, and they're going to teach you how to drive for that company. But who's going to teach you how to maximize your profits? Who's going to tell you what to expect when you go to that first company? How much is your first paycheck going to be, and why is it only around $35? We go over that in the course. And what equipment are you going to be charged for? This one blew me away. I wasn't expecting to have to pay for load locks, thermometers, and a giant meat lock that cost $150. I wasn't expecting that, and I didn't have the money to pay for it. Just a caveat, they're going to charge you for it and then take it out of your check, probably about $25 a week. And once it's paid for, that equipment is yours. And if you quit before, you'll turn it in and they'll give you a credit. Don't let that be what scares you. They're always going to be on your side, and they're going to help you out a little bit when it comes to the money. Don't panic about that. So you may be thinking, okay, well, why would anybody quit a company after 6 to 9 months? Why, after a year, would they quit if it's such a great business? Okay, so let's go over some of the things that the trucking industry doesn't tell you and why they are constantly hiring new drivers. Trucking companies have a 90% turnover rate. The smaller ones have at least 85%. We're going to show you why that 90% of it exists, and we're going to show you how to avoid it and why you should avoid it. Also, there's a lot more to getting your license and driving a truck than doing just that. We're going to show you a career path. And one of those career paths is going to be answering the question that you're going to learn when you go to your first company. Almost immediately, they're going to be asking you, are you a company driver or a lease operator? If they don't ask you, then the other drivers around you are going to ask. Maybe one of them has heard about it and they want to know the answer. TCI.com, Truck Consulting Investing, we answer that question. We don't just say company drivers make good money, lease operators make good money. We give you examples of what to expect and how to manage your lease and what questions to ask. It's just one of the things we bring to you at TCI.com. Now, that career path, you might just want to be a company driver, and there's nothing wrong with that. We're going to teach you how to manage your time and how to maximize your profits and enjoy your time off. That is one of the things that took me years to learn how to do. But if you do want to learn a little bit more and you become a lease operator, odds are you're going to want to own your own truck. And then you're going to become an owner-operator. From there, you might want to take the final step, become an independent. So what are they and what are the differences? We go over that. We also give you lists and instructions on what you need to do to achieve each one of those and what to expect when you do. And the final question of truck consulting investing is the investing part. Now, we've told you about the consulting. We teach you how to get your license and how to move along in your career path. But the investment side is how do you make money with a truck even if you're not driving it? That's what we're here for. Trucking companies and schools are great at teaching you how to legally drive that truck and to drive it safely. They are really a great safe place to learn what you need to drive the truck. Just a quick note about how that works is if you've ever heard about a rental property and you buy a rental property, you put a tenant in it, what you do is you buy a truck and you put a driver in it. And you make more cash flow. And we go over all of that, and we're happy to answer any of your questions. TCI is training drivers to be efficient and profitable. The drivers are really our main focus in this course because we believe that trucking is a very viable career for anyone. It's also the most honest profession I've ever been in. If you drive the miles, you get paid for them, but you have to know how to drive them efficiently. Trucking companies and schools are not effective at teaching the skills needed for drivers to be financially successful and to take quality time off. When you get in that truck, you may be truck number 1, 2, 3, and your name's Tom, Frank, Bill, Sarah, whatever. But to that dispatcher and to that company, you're going to be truck 1, 2, 3. Now, that's a little mean, but it's also just efficient. They're going to be managing over 30 trucks in most cases, and they're going to want to run that truck efficiently. You need to learn how to talk to that dispatcher. You're going to have to learn what you need to do to make sure you're getting that quality time off and making the money that you need to. Do you know how to do that as soon as you walk through the door? No. You may not even know that after a year. It took me quite some time. No one showed me. No one explained to me. No one put it down in black and white. That's what we do at Truck Consulting and Investing. We show you how to be the best driver you can. Now, we made a lot of boastful claims. So what experience do we have to teach you? Well, I've been a company driver, a lease operator, a trainer as a lease operator. I've been a team driver. I've been an owner-operator, and I've been an independent with drivers of my own and my own trucks. I have all that knowledge to draw on and fill in the gaps. And my drivers are one of the reasons I came up with this course. Drivers are the most valuable resource, and they have been sorely underserved in the trucking industry. We believe that drivers need the training to go beyond the classroom and beyond the windshield. If you want to be financially successful, whatever that is to you, we are here for you. If you want to own a truck but not drive it, we're here for you as well. If you want to be an independent driver, owner-operator, we're here to show you the steps you need to take and the things you need to do to make sure you're doing it right and not having to make all the mistakes that we made. So come to TCI.com, take a look at the driver's course by clicking on it right there in the middle of the page. Follow it through, see what it is to be a company driver, take a look at how they're going to get paid. Thank you, and we'll see you in the next one.